Happened on that day. How do you strike some sort of balance for even upcoming artists in the music and entertainment industry?
I mean, once again, I'm not gonna like segregate people and go, he's an artist and he's this. He's an artist that had privileges that other people don't have, and many other people, from politicians, are the same. They're also on the same level. So this is not an artist problem. This is a human problem, you know what I mean? So he made a mistake. If he was on drugs, I don't know if he takes drugs, I don't know. But like, he made a mistake. This is a human problem, and maybe we got to address these things. I mean, like, why do artists get to the point where they actually where they damage their careers in that way? Why? What is happening in the industry? Where are the support hubs to actually get the artists to actually know their role? It's one thing for someone to go, as an artist, you have a responsibility. But if you literally come from the township, or about Jub wasn't, but generally for every other artist, if you come from the township and you've never been in a place where you're getting so much money, where you're getting so much free booze, where you're getting so much, who trains you and prepares you for that? They train you to win the lotto, but they don't train us to get into this space as artists. So for us as a country to turn around again and go, these artists, when this is a human error, then we the guys that actually need to look at ourselves. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. It's one thing to blame another person, but there's nothing being done to support these artists that are supposed to be role models, who also come from backgrounds that everyone else comes from, and they probably were just lucky to make their careers. So we're too judgmental as people, in my opinion, and we never want to fix the problems. We just want to give, this is what should happen, but we don't fix problems. This could happen again next month with another human being, a taxi driver, not an artist, a politician, a judge. It could happen. What are we going to say tomorrow? So stop blaming the artists like we are carrying this thing, because we also are human beings. No one gives us hubs to train us, or to give us some sort of get ready for this fame, get ready for this, get ready for that. No one, And if everyone could handle this thing, then everybody would be famous. We'll all slip up somewhere along the line,
Slikour, you mentioned something very important. You speak about what normally happens in the industry where, as you say, somebody comes from eNCA, they've had nothing all their lives. All of a sudden, they've got a huge hit. We've seen many of these artists come and go in the South African media and entertainment industry. They come from eNCA, they've had nothing all their lives. All of a sudden, they've got a hot track. Everybody's dancing to their tunes. All of a sudden, they start getting invited to events. Girls start streaming in. Booze is given upon them. They hang around with the wrong crowds. Drugs start playing a role. As you say, what needs to happen in the industry so that there's some sort of mentoring that takes place? Yes, it's an artist that has done this, but it can happen to any ordinary South African. But once an artist is seen to have done something like this, it does highlight the scourge that we have in this country about alcohol abuse as well as drug abuse. Do we need to then relook at how artists are treated, how they're mentored, and how they're given advice in this country? Because a lot of them are just thrown out there and they don't know what's coming their way.
Of course, because, from a guy who's getting a tender to a guy who's getting a great job wherever, when you come from the ghetto, we've got a tendency, because, we probably sit in a world where it's driven by white people, and they don't know what we go through. So when we progress, we've got a tendency to diminish what it means to counteract getting out the ghetto. So we diminish what it means to counteract to get out the ghetto, and then we diminish the people who've actually made it out the ghetto. Whether it's a guy who's worked himself in corporate, whether it's a guy who's an artist, we pull each other because we diminish the difficulties of being in the ghetto. Because in the ghetto, there ain't no aspiration there. Ain't nothing like a VIP lounge where this happens and Maybach drives through. It's not a Lovo. So, immediately when a guy goes out, we literally diminish it. So, yes, we need to start being realistic as Black South Africans. And we need to say, let us actually acknowledge ourselves when we get out and we make it and we go do something of ourselves. And let's also start creating hubs where we help each other and go, this is what it means when you get to this world. Because some of the guys, the rest of the world is literally trained for success. They train for aspiration. They train for this. But we not. Our ghettos don't say that. And our ghettos were never built for that. So as South Africans, let's just not forget who we are and where we come from. Jub Jub is an example. Corporate people, there's a lot of people that make these mistakes, but it's because it's our fault also as a society. we diminish what it means to get out the hood. We act as if like, so why vele ngoba kunama opportunity, why vele usateka, why vele whatever. When the hood was built to actually now make you think further. Come on, y'all. Come on. This pisses me off. You know, I mean, like, really, for me, Jub Jub, you know, he's guilty, but I'm not God. He made a mistake. And I feel, what human wants another human to be locked up? And what human wants his kids to be hit by a car? So are we going to fix this by continuing the wrong? Yeah. Come on, y'all.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us. That was Hip Hop Artist Slikour. They're speaking about the industry, what has led to this, and what some of the ills that are plaguing the music and entertainment industry.